Hello and welcome to Newsbreak. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. Getting into today's top stories, staff of the Fareway store on North Marion Avenue led the pack for the second year in a row in the grocery chain's fundraiser with the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. In the 2 weeks before the Iowa State football game, the store raised $7,380 for the Iowa Wave shirt charity out of the statewide $48,000. The amount is more than that raised by any other of the state's 120 Fareway stores, matching the location's leading position in a March fundraiser from the same group, which benefits the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. While the Washington store raised over $2,400 in a fundraising campaign earlier in the year, their most recent success blew that record out of the water. Some of that money came from larger donations, according to Fareway staff, with one customer donating $3,000 in a single day. Grocery manager Dave Waite said he applauded his team's efforts. The top 4 individual cashiers in the campaign were all located at the Washington store. Just before 1 p.m. November 3rd, the Mount Pleasant Police Department investigated a drug complaint in the 200 block of West Franklin Street, a dirt lot behind McKibben Hall. According to a news release from the Mount Pleasant Police Department, a search of the vehicle resulted in marijuana and a pistol being located. The pistol was later found to be stolen from Mount Pleasant earlier in the fall. As a result of the investigation, 4 subjects were charged with possession of marijuana: Jalen Randa, 20, from Coralville; Jackson Lay, 19, of Mount Pleasant; Cordeleris Neely, 18, of Mount Pleasant; and Alvis Johnson, 19, of Mount Pleasant. Johnson was also charged with trafficking stolen weapons. Johnson and Lay were arrested and transported to the Henry County Jail, and the others were issued a summons to court. Henry County Roads Department continues maintenance in the county beyond consistent blading and mowing. Crews installed a concrete blanket on the 2 culverts this past week. One was installed on the 110th Street north of Winfield. Another was installed on River Road east of Highway 218. Additionally, crews relayed reinforced concrete pipe for a diversion ditch along 235th Street. A small grading project was started and completed on Hickory Avenue, a B-level road, and sign reflectivity checks began this week as well. According to County Engineer Jack Hotchkiss, while Old Highway 34 will be closed for 3 weeks from the county line to the intersection of Benton Avenue starting Wednesday, the intersection on the county line will remain open. Colonial Library has opened a checkout for board games. Library staff say patrons can now borrow board games from the institution the same way they would check out a book or a movie, with 1-week loan periods and around 40 items to choose from. While the library has games in stock for every generation, McGuire said she hoped the items would specifically appeal to younger adults. The library has long had games in the building, but that was the limit. They couldn't be taken off the premises because no system existed to keep track of the materials. Checking in the games, some of which have dozens or even hundreds of pieces, was the biggest hurdle to implementation, according to library director Trevor Sherping. Boxes for games are displayed on a shelf, but the pieces remain behind the desk in large bags with inventory checklist for each game. Before games are returned, families can use the checklist to make sure they didn't lose any pieces, and library staff can double check that inventory when it's received. While the main audience is younger adults, Sherping said he hoped the games would attract families to the library as well. Wayland Fire and Rescue will host their 40th annual pancake supper this Saturday, November 12th, 5 to 7:30 p.m. The supper will include pancakes, sausage, and eggs at the fire station. Takeout delivery will be available by calling 319-256-3283. Drive-up is not an option this year. We're going to take a brief break, and we come back with how the weather and sports.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Hello and welcome back to Newsbreak. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. We have the weather coming up, but first obituaries. David Kenneth Luckman of Fairfield passed away on November 5th at the age of 80. Benner Funeral Home is assisting with the arrangements. Anita Harlan of West Point passed away on November 4th at the age of 83. Arrangements are pending with the Schmitz Funeral Home of West Point. Ronald John Gaffey of Williamsburg passed away on November 5th at the age of 85. Funeral mass will be held at 10 a.m. November 9th at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Williamsburg. Powell Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Those obituaries, it is now time for the weather.
The weather is brought to you by Jacqueline Areola, LLC.
Come visit Jackie in her new location downtown. She is ready to serve Washington and the surrounding community. You know the old saying, if you don't like the weather in Iowa, just wait a few minutes? Well, that is going to be this week. It'll be partly cloudy almost all week, but we will see huge changes in temperatures. Today is partly cloudy with a high of 58, and tomorrow temperatures will jump 15 degrees up to 73. On Thursday, temperatures will peak for the week at 74, but overnight temperatures will plummet to 29 degrees. There is still a chance of precipitation Thursday night, although down to 25%. On Friday, the high will only be 35 degrees and winds will be 22 miles an hour, so not the best weather to end the work week. On Saturday, it will be cloudier with temperatures just at freezing. We're going to take another brief break, and when we come back, we will have sports. Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross. Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656. Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank. Welcome back to Newsbreak. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. It is now time for sports.
And now, sports. Brought to you by Fareway.
Some of the area's best seniors met up in Mediapolis on Saturday night for the 29th annual Southeast Iowa Volleyball Classic, where athletes from around the area get to show off their skills one last time in a high school uniform. The game lasted 4 sets as the black team, coached by Waco's Jay Coble and Van Buren County's BJ Carter, won the contest 25-15, 25-21, 15-25, and 28-26 over the pink team. Members of the black team included Waco's Ella Kissel and Grace Coble, Winfield Mount Union's Keely Malone and Melina Oping, Fairfield's Macy Rayburn and New London's Emma Nye, among others. Playing together on the pink team were WMU's Keatlin Townsley and Brady Buffington, as well as New London's Ellie Manning, Natalie Burden, and Cameron Lair. That is the news for Southeast Iowa. I've been your host, Nick Steffens. This is the Southeast Iowa Union News Break.